All right.
Cool.
Hi, welcome everyone. You are invited to have cameras on, cameras off. It doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with. We have Lafia and Maddy. Okay, with more people coming in. I'm going to turn off the waiting room so people can just stream in as they join because we are live, and I'm going to send a reminder email out to everyone who registered. So never, one thing that this is very crowdfunding related, book launch related, never underestimate the power of follow-up emails. I have sent probably 4 email reminders and multiple email invitations saying like it's happening today, come to it. And we got 5 new signups in the past hour. So just never, never underestimate the power of like repeated outreach. It's great. Richard is here in his wizard outfit. He is the audiobook wizard. Welcome.
Hi.
Oh my. Hi, Richard. Oh my gosh, the background and everything.
Love it. Love it.
Incredible.
Awesome. Okay. And I think we have Katie Lockwood on so she can hold Lafia's feet to the fire with questions.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. I'll respond to you today. I apologize.
Well, great. Well, we are going to dive right in. Thank you so much. I'm sure people are going to keep continuing to sign in. But, this is being recorded and we will make it available to everyone. Thank you, everyone. I am Lisa Furland with Crowdfunding for Authors, helping everyone, but children's book authors, nonfiction, fiction, everyone crowdfund their books. And recently have learned about the power of BackerKit. I mean, of course, I knew about BackerKit from the Fulfillment Pledge Manager service that they have. But more recently, when 2 of my author clients successfully launched on BackerKit, I got a behind the scenes look as to how it works and all of the really neat features. But then I realized that I don't even know all of the cool features that are in the works at BackerKit. So I invited Maddy and Lafia to join us to go through exactly what BackerKit is and how it's different from what we have been so used to with, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and GoFundMe. Those have been the platforms that my authors have used in the past. So this is something new and exciting, and we are so excited. So with that, I'm going to turn it right over to Maddy and Lafia for their presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. And thank you so much to everyone who is here today with us live or watching this recording. Great to be here and want to thank you so much for the opportunity, Lisa. For hosting this event and for making this possible and for introducing us to some awesome creators. So quick intros, as Lisa said, my name's Maddy. I'm on the campaign strategist team here at BackerKit, and I am joined today by Lafia, who is on our creator success team. Between us, we've worked with hundreds of creators to plan, ideate, assist, basically anything crowdfunding related with the success of their campaigns. And for those of you who are brand new and have never heard of BackerKit before, I do want to just back up a little bit. So we'll go to our next slide here and just jump right in. I do want to say that this is a Q&A format. So if you have questions, I would love for them to appear in the chat. We got some before the call as well. But let's make it a little bit informal. Happy to hear questions as they come as well. So as I said, we are BackerKit. We have been around the block a bit. As Lisa mentioned, we started out as a pledge management solution. A little bit more on that in a minute. We have just recently launched, probably within the past 2 years or so, our own crowdfunding platform. And to get there, we have been working with about 10,000 creators since BackerKit was born over a decade ago at this point. Originally, BackerKit was a kind of brainchild of 2 folks on our team still today that had successfully crowdfunded their own campaign on Kickstarter in 2010. Yeah, wow. 2010, a long time ago. And they struggled to fulfill their project as the idea of a pledge manager wasn't really around at the time. And for those of you who have run crowdfunding campaigns before, you know that managing and shipping hundreds or thousands of orders using spreadsheets is really a daunting task. It can be no fun for those of us who have experienced that. So over the years, BackerKit has seen what has worked really well for creators and what doesn't work well when it comes to launching a crowdfunding campaign. So today, as I mentioned, we'll be focusing on the crowdfunding platform, but I do know that there may be some questions related to our pledge manager and some of our other tools, which hopefully we'll get more time to discuss further on down the road. All right, so kind of that origin story, we really wanted to reimagine what crowdfunding could be and build that future together with creators. So that meant developing a rapidly evolving platform that kept pace with creators' needs and their uncapped imaginations for how they envision running a crowdfunding campaign. Additionally, we have experience with a lot of creators who want to run campaigns again and again, and their goals are obviously to make every campaign better and better. So what we've done is built something by creators for a better backer experience that can go beyond just one campaign at a time. We really believe in giving creators the ability to live their best creative lives. And so those are the tools that we've created for supporting every stage of the BackerKit and creator journey. What is the creator journey is a good question if anyone has it. For all of you authors out there, it's a little bit different than the hero's journey, but not too different. It is an important journey nonetheless. Here's a little bit of what it looks like typically if you are new to crowdfunding in general. When you run... Are you... Oh, you're good, Leah. Good to see you. When you crowdfund with BackerKit, you'll be running the...
Did we lose Maddy?
I think we froze.
Oh no. Okay, well,
She looks like Mary Tyler Moore on that scene.
it's a great freeze frame.
Oh, she's back.
I can hear you guys.
Okay, you're back. You're back.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know that I was fading away into the ether. What we're looking at right here is kind of the crowdfunding journey, as I was saying. It really involves everything from coming up with your idea to successfully funding and getting your backers their rewards. So we've just outlined it here so you can easily see. But again, our tools are really to help along the entire journey, not just the live campaign. So first, we're going to dive into the teaser page. And I want to go back quickly actually on that creator journey, just because I know I lost you guys for a little bit, and also we're kind of segmenting to start talking about the parts of the journey. So I want to open up quickly for any like initial questions you might have quickly about what we've already talked about. Awesome. I think we're good. I'll keep on going and you guys can hear me. Perfect. All right, so we've learned over our decade here at BackerKit that one of the most common causes of unsuccessful projects isn't a lack of funding. It's actually failing to launch at all. So what we have created is the mighty teaser page. So this tool is to help share your project to the world, which is a huge leap of faith, a very courageous act to take this idea that you've come up with and put it out into the world. But we believe that announcing the project is actually the single most impactful first step that you as a creator can take towards getting all the way through your journey and working towards your goal. What was missing was an easy and fast way to announce your project to the world. And this belief is what inspired us to develop our BackerKit teaser page, a page that announces your campaign ahead of your launch date and offers a sneak peek of your project to build excitement around your crowdfunding campaign. It also serves as a destination page that can inform your existing audience of your campaign launch. It counts down until the exact second that your campaign can go live, which makes people very excited and anticipatory of what's going to be going on in your campaign. It's also what I like to think of as kind of your project's business card. You don't have to have a really, really fleshed out, huge idea in order to publish your teaser page. I always encourage creators to use this as a landing page of, hey, my name's Maddy. I'm going to publish this, and I would love if you would give me a follow and keep me in mind. We've found this teaser page to be a really simple yet powerful tool to take you from that zero all the way to the launch. And that's kind of that first initial hump that we look at. Since releasing the BackerKit crowdfunding, we've worked alongside creators to make publishing the teaser page easy. And so as soon as you sign up your project for a BackerKit project, sign up your BackerKit project on BackerKit to crowdfund it, you can go right from there to announcing your project by publishing your teaser page. And some of the first communications that you'll get from myself or from Lafia or anyone here at BackerKit is going to be communications about the way that you can set up that teaser page and how you can start collecting your audience and building a following right away. I'm just going to keep on rolling along. So if you got questions, either hold them, put them in the chat. I'm excited to get there when we get there. So let's talk about the importance just quickly. It's basically planting your flag and announcing your project, telling yourself and those who are going to be supporting you that you're going to be ready to launch. And this is where I use one of my favorite phrases, putting the crowd back in crowdfunding. There's a lot of focus on the funding portion. You know, what should my pledge levels be? How much should I raise? One of the first things that I love to talk to creators about is let's figure out the crowd that we need to get you there. So this teaser page is that really first beginning of like gathering that crowd that when you're ready to launch is going to be there for you when you hit the start button, right? So I've mentioned it a little bit, but the teaser page actually will collect your followers' emails and help you to create an email list. So as you announce your project, you send out your teaser page. Lisa can sign up to know all about my upcoming project. And then as I create updates and I move forward along on my journey, I can send Lisa emails. And actually, Lisa, you kind of prepped this so well with like the power of sending follow-up emails, right? Is we don't want just one touch necessarily. We want to be constantly reaching out to our audience, letting them know what we're doing behind the scenes. Maybe it's even telling them how our work has been coming along, how much writing we've done this past weekend. And that all depends on whether or not you have that email list of people to reach out to. So getting a teaser page published can help to immediately get your email list growing right off the bat. So why?
Maddy, we do have a question. Julie says, how large does your email base need to be before the teaser page? Because again, it is important that we're not just starting from zero with the teaser page as well. And Lafia has a response, but I don't know if Maddy, if you want to speak to that too.
Laf, why don't you go ahead and speak to it?
I can jump in. So it totally, well, if you're just starting out, your email list is probably going to be zero, but it's actually not going to be a real zero because you have friends and family and that love you, and you can just text them and be like, hey, can you sign up to my teaser page? That's what I actually did for my first Pintopia project. I didn't have an email base whatsoever. I asked all my friends and family, got to about 25, 30, and then listed it on the coming soon page of BackerKit. And because it was Pintopia, we like all the other creators were driving traffic to the website. And I ended up with almost like 100 leads on my teaser page just from the organic traffic through BackerKit. And again, that was special because it was an event that we were hosting. But you can start at zero. It's okay if it's your first project. Just, your goal is to get people to sign up to it. If you have a social media following, you want to turn your followers into email addresses, because if you have a large following, doesn't mean that they're going to back your project. You need to turn them into the email address. So if you go to launch, if you import a project, put in what your funding goal is, what you think your average pledge is going to be. So if your like base pledge level is $25, put $25 in, and then our little calculator will spit out like how many leads you'll probably need. And this is based off of a 5 to 10% conversion of leads to pledges in the campaign. Maddy, did you want to say anything else about that?
I think you did a great job of covering it, actually, Laf. So thank you so much for jumping in. And for those of you who just got to hear from Laf, an amazing wealth of knowledge. Lafia has been at BackerKit for 5 years now, and so for those of you who get to work with Laf, I just 10 out of 10 recommend. But absolutely, yeah, there's no better place to start than at the beginning, right? And sometimes the beginning looks like I'm just going to tell my mom that I'm thinking about a project, or I'm going to tell my friends. And then you.
Maddy, we lost you again. Real cute, though. We'll give her a second to come back. Okay, I guess in the meantime, Leah, you have another question. Ideally, how far in advance do you recommend getting the teaser page up and running? Like Maddy said earlier, you want to announce your project as soon as you want to announce it to the world and get your teaser page out there, because it gives you a place to share no matter where you are. If you're going to in-person events, if you're going to the park with your friends and you run into somebody, you're like, oh, I'm writing a children's book about the odd dog, and it just gives you that link that you can send somebody to, and they can sign up immediately. Even if you have 6 months until you think you're ready for your campaign, it just gives you a place so that you can send interested people to.
Awesome. Thank you, Lafia. Am I back? Incredible. So sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, I know there's some more questions rolling in. Let's take the questions that have rolled in now based on this conversation. Let's keep going.
Megan says, is there a way to integrate and connect this with our like MailerLite email list? So a different email list that you have.
Great question. Great question. The answer is yes. So you can import other email lists, whether you've got maybe you're using MailChimp, maybe you've collected, you're going to events and you're just having people send you their emails. Yeah, absolutely. That is something that we support with BackerKit Launch, which is the pre-marketing kind of tool that is included when you launch on BackerKit. Great. Awesome. I'm going to keep rolling along here, and then again, just keep shooting questions, and apologies about my internet. Apparently it's going out a little bit today. So we've talked a little bit about the importance of creating that email list, and one of the biggest things is to create momentum on day one. So kind of just this graph kind of shows what we look at for a typical crowdfunding campaign. And this would be your funding level. So most of the funding is going to come in right at the beginning when you launch. And so people on that email list that are ready to pledge right away, you're going to be looking towards funding. The other thing there is that the earlier that you are fully funded, it kind of creates a sense of excitement for everyone to keep the project going. If you kind of are in the midway point and you're not fully funded, we tend to see a little bit more hesitancy for folks to back. And that, again, I think comes from this idea that, well, maybe it won't fund. And so there's a little bit more hesitancy. So that's something that we also will kind of coach you along when you sign up for crowdfunding with BackerKit, is to how do we get you fully funded on day one? And then, during that middle part where everything kind of slows down, if we need to get you fully funded, we'll help do that as well. But in terms of outreach, but definitely be trying to preemptively know how many folks that you're going to need when that rope drops. And the goal here is that kind of what we've talked about a little bit with so far as my internet has been going out, is long before we developed BackerKit crowdfunding as a platform, we created a tool called BackerKit Launch, which is a streamlined email and backer management tool like we've been talking about, where you can import your contacts from anywhere, and then you can centrally build your audience in one place. So you have that teaser page, and you have that email list that you can reach out to. And the best part about this program is that it's not project specific, it's actually creator specific. So as you're looking to launch a new project, you still have that base membership that you can always turn back to let them know that you're going to be launching another campaign. So we're trying to create one central hub that you can do all of the pre-work, all of the actual campaign, and that post-campaign pledge management as well. Just a little bit more on launch, as we were talking about, own and manage total audience. You can bring your audience over from wherever you might be collecting it right now. And we see a lot of backer engagement with those emails that go out through launch. Again, talking about what Lisa said, not just one touch, but multiple touches, reminding people that your project is going to go live, that it is live, that it's ending soon. We want that constant engagement. All right, I'm moving along here just because I want to be really cognizant of time. So running a crowdfunding campaign on BackerKit, our biggest, I think, probably strongest portion of running a campaign on BackerKit is that we want to not just run a campaign, but we want to deliver an experience to your backers. So crowdfunding endures because it's fundamentally different than just buying something on Amazon or buying something off of a pre-order store, even buying something in person. It attracts folks, backers who are different, creators and backers who believe in more of an indie, collaborative, patient approach to making something unique, beloved, and lasting. And so because they're here for an experience, we're going to give them one to remember. What we have done is we've built tools that you can have a fun, interactive experience through your campaign. So some of the things that we encourage our creators to do is gamify a campaign with locked achievements along the way, empower backers to get involved with polls and questions as well. I think for our authors, we see a lot of fun here where you can kind of talk a little bit about your characters or the things that are going on in the book and just really engage with your audience, especially if you already have a little bit of an audience built up. And if you don't, you can ask general questions like, what is your favorite type of reading material, and what's your favorite genre, and really engaging there. Streaming, we've got streaming capabilities through YouTube Live and Twitch streaming. We've seen creators really go all out with this. Lafia, I don't know if you want to speak to some of these experiences quickly, because I know you've worked with creators who have really just taken it to new heights.
Oh yeah, I love the engagement features on the BackerKit platform, because other crowdfunding platforms, they don't have tools readily available for creators to engage with their backers as much. The majority of them have just project updates, and then they can have the comments and reply to them. But when you're launching a BackerKit, it's kind of like the achievements, they're stretch goals on steroids. And so you can have different types of achievements. You can have your main funding goal. You can use it for stretch goals. You can use it for even shares on Facebook. That one's kind of my favorite because it helps get your backers to promote your campaign to their social media without, fronting any costs with that. And then the polls are creators' favorites and backers' favorites too, because it's very engaging and you can ask any type of question. You can ask a question that's going to help move or shape your project. So for your rewards, if you're like, hey, what color do you like best? Or even for, authors and readerships, you could be like, what genres do you like? What protagonists do you want to see? What settings do you like? And you get to ask your backers on, it's kind of like marketing polls. Some of the RPG creators, they'll use polls as a mini, what is that? Oh my goodness. What is the little series? Oh, you're choose your own adventure. So they'll like write a little script and they're like, here's the protagonist. And what should they do that day? Should they go to the coffee shop or should they go fight, dungeons in or dragons in the dungeon? And it's kind of cool because it keeps people who are either pledged to your project or haven't pledged to your project to continue to come back to your campaign page and increase your engagement of that project. The higher engagement you have on the campaign page, it actually pushes you up towards the top of the list and you get featured on the top of our homepage. So it's not based off of like, I know Kickstarter has the projects we love stamp, and that one's kind of weird. You have to like know somebody at Kickstarter or email them or ask them to give you that stamp, and then it's just kind of a crapshoot if they do. But our system is based solely on engagement. So even if you're a smaller project, if you have backers who are engaged, it could put you up to the #1 spot on our homepage. And then streaming, we have the ability that you can live stream at any time during your live campaign. And even before we have a launch party feature, you could be live streaming right until your campaign launches. And then like the screen switches and a little rocket ship goes off and then it goes into the live campaign, but you're still live streaming. So we call it launch party. So you get everybody, onto your campaign page before it goes live. Interacting with them, sharing with your audience, things that are going to happen for your project. And then we just have all of these tools so that you keep your backers there. It's kind of like a mini social media network. Instead of having people hang out on Instagram and Twitter and all the bad social media platforms, bring in a BackerKit and then you can talk about what you want to talk about for your project.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for that, Lafia. Yeah, and just to keep going, I mean, the built-in experiences for engagement, we also have something called a backer train. So as soon as, let's say you've got a backer and then you get another backer that pledges within 10 minutes, we actually have something, and I have it on the screen right now, but we have it's, I don't know what else to say about it other than it's really fun. You can kind of see how many folks have pledged, how many people are on the backer train, and it gets people really excited to be a part of it in that moment, taking that momentum and running with it. So yeah, and as Lafia said, our front page is powered by your backers. So their engagement, your polls, the questions you ask, the interactions you get, that's how we see our front page come to life. And launch party, we don't have a lot of info in this particular slideshow, but that is so fun. I'm so glad you mentioned it, Lafia, because it's a whole other beast in itself. Yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about our specialty experiences. Our newest specialty experience, and I know at least one person and maybe both of them are here, I think, is a cross-collaboration campaign. So this is one of our newer features here at BackerKit. It is crowdfunding campaigns where two creators launch two separate projects concurrently, each with its own independent concept and funding goal, but they collaborate on an incentive, like an exclusive cross collab reward. So in this case, this pin campaign, these are actually two different projects, the Mushroom Sprite pins and the Kitties of Whiskerwood. And then if you have backers that back both, then they get an exclusive offer of having the cross collab reward, which is really fun. This is kind of the first foray into a new, exciting, I guess, motto slogan that we're going with here at BackerKit, which is more fans, more funds, and more fun. Basically, when you do a cross collab campaign, not only are you sharing your projects, but you're also sharing backers. So once a backer pledges to one of the campaigns, it actually recommends that they pledge to the other one so that they can get in on those cross collab rewards. Any questions on the cross collab campaigns? This is one of our newer things. We're very excited. Or do Leah and Katie want to put anything in the comments? I know they both did a cross collab campaign as well. Incredible. Awesome. I'm going to keep rolling. I want to make sure that we have enough time to kind of open it up at the very end for just general questions. So one thing that I do want to call everyone's attention to, I know there's a lot of questions of like, what does it cost to run my campaign on BackerKit versus other platforms? We try to make it really simple. It's actually pretty comparable. I've actually just pulled this screenshot from our website, and you can check that out. BackerKit.com/pricing, I believe, is the link. We can probably throw it in the chat. So we've got, if you run your campaign on BackerKit, it's all kind of in one. You get the launch email tool, you've got the platform itself with all of the incredible features, and you get that end of campaign pledge manager tool, which we haven't talked about too much, but it's basically an order management software. So after everyone has pledged your campaign, you can track people's shipping addresses, and people can also opt in to have add-ons, or also maybe upgrade their pledge levels. And then you can kind of just see quickly, just a quick back and forth here of the different pricing. But where do you go from here is my next question. And I would say start creating and promote and sharing your projects. We recommend going to live events. Kind of going back to that, like, square one is start where you are. Start where you are, and then we've got all sorts of tools that can make the process extremely fun, extremely engaging for you as a creator, and for your backers. But yeah, I'm gonna actually open it up now, because I think there's a lot of questions, or hope there's a lot of questions, and I'm gonna open it back to you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Maddy and Lafia,
Yeah.
for tag teaming that. That was great. Also, I just wanted to make sure we round out on the pre-orders as well, because that's something that happens at
Yeah.
the end of the campaign. So this is all great for like the pre-launch and all of the marketing, and then when the campaign is live. I didn't even know about the locked achievements, so that's like completely new to me. I think I'm just having a hard time keeping track of like where everything is and how it all works, because there are so many amazing features. And I will say, with just like a little bit, that it's, if you're techie, I think it helps. Like if you are familiar with a little bit of coding, if you're not intimidated by HTML code, I think that helps, because then you can really leverage all these tools and, like, put them on your website. Like with the pre-order, you can like add the widget to your website and things like that, which is really fantastic and like so unique and not something anybody else is doing. So it's really, really cool. But yeah, no, this is great. I think there was a question. Okay, so we'll pause there and open it for general questions, and then we can talk about pledge management and the pre-order, which is all post campaign. So if anyone has any questions pre-campaign, pre-launch, and during the campaign, I think you covered all of that beautifully. We'll pause here and let's wait.
Excellent.
Great. And is this a time when you wanted to announce another Topia? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I will let Lafia do the honors. Yeah, so exciting news. I will change the screen for you, Laf, and pass it to you.
All right. Whew. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me get my life together. Okay. So we, if you have been following BackerKit at all, we launched a Pintopia project, our first Topia in 2023. And then that one only had about 25 creators on it. And then we launched Pintopia 2024 at the beginning of this year. And that had over 120 creators all launching projects at the same time. And I forgot what the final bill was, but we raised, I think, together we raised over $800,000 with those 120 projects. And what we're learning about these Topias is that it just brings creators together, and it takes you off of your little lone island, because crowdfunding is hard. You're doing it by yourself. You don't get to talk to any other creators. And so what we're trying to do at BackerKit is we're trying to create these events that creators can get together, lean on each other, use each other's resources, and use each other's audiences, and bringing them all together for one event for 3 weeks. So our next Topia is Comictopia, and that is launching July 19th. And then we've just announced that we're doing Booktopia, and that's going to launch September 5th. So I know this is for the author group. So I'm going to drop the Can it be a book related project? Yeah, so we're this one's going to have a little looser rules on what a book can be. So it could be a children's book, it can be a cookbook. We're trying to keep away from maybe graphic novels because those kind of fall into their own category in the comics category. And we want to do an own graphic noveltopia. And then if like you have a tarot card or maybe like a guidebook, we don't want that part of the books, but like the book genre is pretty open. So if you have a question about it, feel free to ask now, or you can email me and we can check it up. But we do want it to just be, a book that somebody can have in their hands or be able to read on their Kindle iPad. But I'm gonna drop no, I just gave that link. Hold on. I'm gonna drop the link to apply. Oh, it's such a long link. Hold on. Oh, it's like god awful long. We're going to do it anyway. Okay, so that is the link to apply. We just released the blog post. If you have a book and it's going to be ready or semi-ready by September, if you'd love to crowdfund with another creator, you are required to have a partner project. But yeah, super excited. I'm writing my first book and I'm 30% of the way there. I don't think I'm going to be ready for this Booktopia, but I've definitely dipped my toes into the world of publishing and it is super exciting. And I would say that the group of creators who are reaching out and coming out of the woodworks is just amazing. And I can't wait to get everybody into the private Discord and have everybody chat with each other and just, share ideas and everything, but y'all are just wonderful human beings. And then Andrea just said, do you have an example of sustainable regenerative children books launched? Sustainable regenerative. Does that mean like the book is sustainable or is the topic sustainable? Because I was going to say, we could share Katie's most recent book or yeah, ouch, oh no, oops. Katie, feel free to share your last project of your books because I know you've written 3 so far.
Ouch, oops, and oh no was the third one. Yeah. On topic, I don't know. And Andrea, you might need to search the site. I don't know any offhand.
Yeah. I also, just as kind of when I'm talking to clients who are getting ready to launch, one big thing that I always recommend is there's 2 ways of saying it. One, you can be more formal and say case studies, and then you can do what I do, which is snooping. So I love to like find if there's a project on Kickstarter that you're like, this project did really well, or I really love the way that they've set this campaign up. I am always, and I think Lafia as well, like always cross-reference folks that have done it before and have been successful. And I think there's always something to learn, even if it's how did they set up their campaign page? How did they create their pledge levels? Did they do a PDF version that was downloadable? And you can even see how many backers like have backed in that particular pledge level and get a really good idea of kind of what you want to do and also what might resonate well with backers. So definitely, Andrea, take a look and see whether it's on Kickstarter, on BackerKit, even Indiegogo. No matter where you're launching, I always think it's great to have reference points of if you've seen people do it before, and like what they've done.
Yeah, we call that market research. You do a deep dive on the market research. Snoopy. Yes. There's nothing illegal about it. It's all publicly available.
No.
I even go deep into their social media and I scroll back. So that's why it's really good if you are in the planning phase to look at campaigns that are live now, because then you can follow them on social media and see their actions now, rather than having to, scroll back through months of posts. It's so much easier just to follow a live campaign. And the best way, honestly, is to pledge a little bit, become a backer, and then you get to see the updates firsthand and get that experience firsthand. Can you explain a little on Booktopia? Because I know that with Pintopia, projects were all mixed together, partnered, so that there would be this cross collab built into it. So again, you can leverage each other's audiences. So are you all considering the people who are participating and pairing them up, or are you letting them sort of self-select and pair with one another?
Definitely letting them self-pair first, and then if there are people who don't have a partner, we'll match them up, towards near to the launch. But it is cool because I don't know if anybody knows Darren and Carlin. They're like a huge, I don't know, they're just, I think they're famous, but like they're smaller. Anyway, they're pushing everything, and they're pushing a bunch of creators to write in. So I feel like these little cohorts, everybody knows each other, and they can easily find a partner that they're familiar with. And then if you don't, we'll definitely match you up. So you can choose, or we'll help you.
Great. That's awesome.
I would also love to just say about Booktopia, if you don't have a project that's ready, as Lisa said, Booktopia is a great time to pledge, to do that checking out of the market research, taking a look at what's launching. It's also a great way to have the experience as a backer of receiving rewards, having an understanding of the surveys that go out. There's definitely a lot of benefits to getting involved early, even as just a backer.
And one thing I can add to that, don't be afraid to pledge to the really, really big campaigns, the campaigns that don't need your money, because it is a good way. I mean, of course, support the campaigns that are limping along, and really, really appreciate your support. Of course, support them as well. But you can learn a lot from backing people who are where you want to be. So when you pledge to, it's a huge, I'm blanking on the name. It was a very large,
Brandon
it was like,
Sanderson.
and it wasn't, I did pledge
Oh.
his, but it wasn't that. It was actually someone, so I got the physical book, and they sent me, it was Cece Jean, or Celine Jean. I think she's a French author. Anyway, she did like a $1.5 million campaign, and it was really interesting. And she sent like a handwritten note. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this $1.5 million campaign, I never would have expected a handwritten note from the author. So I think that it's really great to, back the campaigns that you are aligned with, that you care about, because you will learn so much, and you will learn those little things that mean a lot to the readers. And then you can put those into your campaign as well. I think that's a huge learning experience.
Oh, absolutely. And then one tiny thing with BackerKit, when a creator backs another creator's project, your entire like email list gets notified that you back somebody else's project. And this has actually helped with my Pintopia. I know I kind of cheated, but I know a lot of big creators. And so one of them, Goodman Games, who's an RPG creator, he backed my project, and I got like 18 pledges from it. And it's just, we're trying to build this web of, creators helping each other out. So if you do know a larger creator, ask them to just back your project. You can even have hidden pledge levels. So you can have like a $1 or $5 hidden creator pledge levels, and then just reach out to other creators and be like, hey, I'd really appreciate it if you could back my project. And if they do, then their entire email list is going to get notified that they supported you. So just a win-win for everybody.
Love it. Love the micro pledge option, because that's really the cheapest way to get in front of other people. It's just for $1, you got in front of all of those emails. That's really, really powerful work. Great. Okay, I think yeah, what would be great if everyone wants to, now I see it happening, if you want to put in the chat your genre or your specialty, and then you all can connect after this call as well. Also feel free to email me. I work with authors all the time, and I'm happy to connect you outside of here, outside of this Q&A, if something comes up, or if you're watching the replay. I would love to connect like-minded authors who want to team up. Absolutely. There is okay, so Richard makes books accessible through audio description and sign language. Can he do a BackerKit campaign to raise money to support other authors' books, to like turn other books into becoming accessible, or working with Booktopia participants to turn their books into making accessible to blind and deaf readers?
Oh, that's such a good idea. So right now with Booktopia, every project will have to be focused on its own book. But if you want to email me, you can email me at crowdfunding@backerkit.com. I'll put it in the chat. And what I could do is potentially invite you into our Discord and be like, hey, because there's another creator who wants to offer their services but doesn't have a project for Booktopia. But to get you in touch or to like, advertise your services with those group of creators, being like, hey, if anybody wants to do, an audio book, I can help you with that. So definitely get in touch with me, Richard, and see how we can get you to help out with Booktopia. Cool. Thanks, Maddy.
Yeah, awesome. That's amazing, Richard. I would definitely reach out because that's amazing.
I just wanted to do a
I'm
time check.
Go
We have
ahead.
15 minutes left, and people had questions about the Pledge Manager and pre-order store.
That's where I was going next.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, you got it. You got it. Well, I'm gonna actually let you take
Okay.
this, Laf, because you've had a lot of hands in the Pledge Manager before.
All right. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I can stop sharing.
I don't know how to do this. I'm never on Zoom, and I'm always like, ah.
It's lit up
There's
in
a
green.
bright green
Oh my God, it's
share
green.
button.
I'm just gloss over it. Okay, let's see which Chrome popped up. Okay, cool. Pick the right one. So I'm going to use my Pintopia as an example, but no matter what, well, actually, if you crowdfund on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or BackerKit, you can use our Pledge Manager to help manage your backers post-campaign. It's really powerful because BackerKit was born because it was the first six-figure crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter back in 2010. And they had thousands of backers, and they fulfilled everything with spreadsheets, and it was a real pain in the butt. And so they created their own pledge manager, and then fast forward, here we are. This is what we do. So when you have a campaign and you have a bunch of backers and you don't know when you're going to fulfill, and you kind of like, you need them in a holding space, and you need to be able to get their shipping addresses, you can upsell add-ons, and then you need to hold them, because if your project or if your rewards aren't going to ship for a couple months, like what do you do with them? So they got to sit somewhere. And then people move in the middle of it. And so you can go and you can ask for their shipping addresses again. So it's just a real, I like to call it as just like a house where you keep all of your information and you can do what you need to do with your backers. But the pre-order, I was like, I don't even have my pre-order store up. This is a terrible example. I don't even know if I have add-ons up here. Oh, I have a couple add-ons. Okay. So what you can do is, and Kickstarters, I was talking with a creator the other day, but Kickstarter just launched their new late pledge feature. And we were talking about it, how it kind of takes the urgency and the FOMO away from a 30-day campaign. And so there's just a mixed bag of feelings with the Kickstarter late pledge thing. So it's like you have a crowdfunding campaign and you have it for 30 days or 60 days or however long you want to have it. And it creates this excitement and you're like, cool, this is exclusive to this campaign. You can get it now or forever hold your peace. And then afterwards, once your campaign is done, you can offer the rewards to late pledges if you want. I know it kind of takes away from that exclusivity. But if you're having a really good campaign and you're rushing to the end and people are backing, and then the campaign ends, you can move them over to the pre-order store, and we call it late pledge or pre-order store. Set up your items just as you would, during the campaign, and you can continue to raise funds. We actually have one creator, it's called the muzzle movement, and she made like pretty muzzles for dogs, and she wants, people to not be afraid of putting muzzles on their dogs. She raised 60K in Kickstarter, and then she's raised like 80,000 to 100,000 in her pre-order store in BackerKit. And she just uses this store because it's so easy. You don't have to go set up a Shopify. You don't have to go buy your own domain name. You just move it over into BackerKit, and we give you that space to continue to collect late pledges. So that's what this is, my pre-order store. But it just takes, and like what Lisa was saying earlier, there is a tiny, if you know HTML, there is a widget that you can put on your personal website. But it just takes all the work away from you. It's connected to your Stripe account. Everything's just done within the Pledge Manager. You can move pre-order backers through the same flow as your Kickstarter or BackerKit backers. Okay, so Pledge Manager. I was like, I don't even know where I wanted to start with the Pledge Manager. Are there any questions so far? Did I miss anything?
I have a question on the pre-order store. Is there, obviously it's connected to Stripe, so there will be Stripe fees, but is there an additional BackerKit fee for processing orders through the pre-order store?
There is. Our transaction fee is 3.5% on all funds raised in the pledge manager. So that includes any add-ons sold through surveys and then anything sold through the pre-order store and then plus Stripes fees.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, it's a good question. And so, yeah, once your campaign has ended, you'll import your backers into the pledge manager and you'll set up what we call surveys. The term surveys come because usually with crowdfunding, you're like donating to a project in exchange for rewards. So it's slightly different from like a regular e-commerce sale. So you send a survey and what you can do is you can set up, so say you have in the book world, say in your campaign, one of your stretch goals was you unlocked like foil edges, but you're not going to just give it away for free. You need to upsell it maybe. So you can come in and you can create a pledge question that's like, hey, we unlocked that stretch goal. If you want the foil edges, do you want the foiled edges or do you want just the regular hardcover? Or do you want a soft cover, hardcover, or hardcover special edition? And you can create those pledge questions and gather that information from your backers. And then it's all like neatly stored. You have SKUs, so you can pull it and you're like, cool, I have 100 backers who want a soft cover. I have 150 backers who want a hardcover, and then I need 250 of the special foiled edges, limited edition one. And then you can ask like even marketing questions that are like, hey, where did you hear about us? Or what do you want to hear? Or what kind of books do you want to see from me, moving into the future? So that's where these pledge questions come. And then once the backers answer their pledge questions in the survey, they move on to the add-ons page. And again, this is another place where you can upsell backers. So maybe backers are just like really excited about your project. They go in, they pledge to your campaign, and then they leave. And then they completely forget about it. And then you come along, you set up your surveys, you set up your add-ons, and then you send them the survey. And then they're like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. My friend Becky, she would also love this book. And then they throw another copy into the basket. So we see about a 10 to 20% increase in funds raised just by setting up add-ons and selling them through the survey. Again, you can see my cute little add-ons there. And then
Lafia,
yeah.
sorry.
No,
I was just gonna say we have a question that I think so the question is, can you add products not featured in the campaign in your pre-order store?
Absolutely, yes. If you have stock on hand that you are selling elsewhere, you are more than welcome to sell those as add-ons in your pre-order store or through the survey. Yes, Leah.
Awesome.
But then once, so after the add-ons, and we actually recommend not charging for shipping during the campaign, just because you don't know what's going to happen between the end of your campaign and when you actually fulfill your rewards, if shipping fees are going to increase. So that is our recommendation, because some projects can take, 6-9 months to fulfill, or even up to like 2 years. A lot of these big tabletop project games take several years to manufacture and get shipped out. And if you're an author too, like if you're, in the first draft editing phase, you don't know when you're actually going to be complete with your book and when that gets shipped out. So definitely recommend holding off on charging shipping fees during your campaign. Our philosophy at BackerKit is like, we want all of the funds raised during your campaign to go to the actual project and to not have shipping fees kind of like inflate that number. But you can set up shipping, you can charge for shipping for the pledge level rewards, you can add extra shipping if people add on items. And then they'll be able to give you your shipping address. And then, however long it takes between, when they first fill out the survey to when you actually fulfill the rewards, they'll actually have another chance to update their shipping address. But that's kind of the pledge manager in a nutshell. It is a massive program. It has a lot of features. Sometimes it's really frustrating to creators, but that's why we're here. So if you ever get stuck or you have a special situation, don't ever hesitate reaching out and be like, how do I set this up? My team will hop on a Google Meet or we'll make you a Loom video, but we'll get you a solution. Whew.
Yeah, that's great. And just to comment on Nicola's comment here, she's seriously considering switching over, for Booktopia. And you can confirm, when people do sign up to crowdfund through BackerKit, are they assigned to work with one of you at the platform?
So right now, the crowdfunding success team is 3 people. It's me, my colleague Anna, and another colleague Tatsral. So it's the 3 of us. And normally when you sign up your project, you're actually assigned one of us. You have a dedicated success person, and then you also have a dedicated campaign strategist like Maddy herself. So you'll be working with, you know, 2 people that you get to know better.
That's great.
Yeah, but a lot of so a lot of people who are hesitant about switching, yeah, it's and these was one of the questions that you guys submitted earlier. A lot of people who are afraid of switching are not as confident in themselves in their crowdfunding, and they're not confident that their audience is going to follow you. So you've built up this brand, you've built up a reputation, you write these amazing books. I'm so sorry, the garbage truck is going by right now. So you have to have confidence that these people are going to follow you anywhere. Like a platform is just a platform. It is a place that you give a credit card and you check out. So a lot of the creators that have made the switch, they've actually had their biggest campaigns. They've had the most amount of backers on their campaigns. But you get this hand holding that we do. You get a private Discord channel that you get to talk to other creators. You're not on your own. And then the biggest thing is that it's a lower like barrier of competition. On Kickstarter right now, at any given time, there are over 2,000 live projects. And of those 2,000 live projects, only 40% of them fund. So they have a 60% fail rate on Kickstarter. So even though they're the biggest name in the game, they're not there to like help the creators succeed. They're just there to have a platform that people come to and launch on. But BackerKit, what we're trying to do is set you up for success way before you launch your project. We even like tell creators and they like submit for review and we're like, you're not ready. You have 12 people on your email list. You're not going to fund. And it's really hard to tell people that, but like, we don't want you to just throw spaghetti on the wall and think that you're going to fund by not doing any work. But we're here to help you do all of that work.
That's great. Now, quick question. I think it was covered. If someone is launching on Kickstarter and they want to come over to BackerKit to use the pledge manager, there is a fee, right? I think was it $99 or what was the fee to come over? And are there any like minimum requirements, like you have to have funded X amount, or is that not a
Yeah,
thing?
it's a great question. And these are all questions that you can also absolutely send over to our team if they come up later. So yes, if you are looking to use our pledge manager and you have launched your campaign on Kickstarter, it's a 2% campaign fee. And what that means is basically to use the pledge manager, you'll pay 2% of the funds that you raised on Kickstarter. That is the first half of it. And then as Lafia said, if you raise additional funds through the pledge manager or the pre-order store, that is a 3.5% transaction fee for the funds that are raised using BackerKit's tools. If you launch your crowdfunding campaign on BackerKit on our crowdfunding platform, the pledge manager campaign fee doesn't exist. The pricing for the pledge not the pledge manager, the crowdfunding platform is very similar to Kickstarter with the 5% on the funds raised on the actual campaign, but then the 2% campaign fee to like switch or to, basically get a pledge manager when you are using Kickstarter is not there anymore. Hope that's helpful.
Yep, very helpful. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
There was a specific question about the cross collab. Katie and Leah, they did a cross collaboration on BackerKit this past month, and they want to add donate a book or plush option to each other's as a way to continue the cross collab. So this is to each other's pre-order. I don't know if that's okay, but I think that's what she means. Yes, answer yes.
Absolutely.
Getting the head nod. It seems like there are no rules in the pre-order or the I guess, yeah, the period where they continue after the campaigns. Like, yeah, like put whatever you want in that store, like go ahead and just fill it with whatever you think is gonna work.
Yeah, and same thing with the crowdfunding platforms. I don't know if Kickstarter is really strict on it, but BackerKit, you can have any items you want as add-ons. It's just the campaign has to be focused on a new item, but you're more than welcome to sell whatever you want, as add-ons during the campaign. But that does go towards your funding goal to get the main reward created. So. But yeah, I love the no rules. You know what? There are no rules in crowdfunding.
BackerKit is like the Wild Wild West. Like it's just like no rules, no problems. But yeah, definitely focus on a community and just trying to get your readers engaged, and that's the most important thing. Wonderful. We are at the top of the hour, and I know that Maddy and Lafia are very busy people, and I'll have to manage other campaigns. So if there are any other questions, feel free to send them to me, and or send them directly to the team at crowdfunding@backerkit.com. There's email is in the chat, and I will also be sending that out in the recap. So this will, the replay will be sent out to everyone. So feel free, especially those listening to the replay, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Super helpful, super wonderful. Always amazing speaking with you both and just getting the excitement. BackerKit seems like a really cool, fun place, and lots of things happening and more excitement to come. Thank you. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Maddy.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks